New Earth AC was formed by divine guidance to help lift up humanity and raise the vibration of all. New Earth is a community that started as a Facebook group and has grown to become an online interactive platform for those seeking to uplift, empower, and co-create with one another. On top of uplifting and inspiring posts, we began to connect with our members on a more deeper level. We now regularly host what we call Unity Circles and live stream them on our YouTube channel. Each circle is hosted by a member who wishes to share their knowledge and gifts out to the world in hopes that they can make a difference in the lives of others. You can find these circles inside the New Earth AC Divine Ray store and on our YouTube channel. Please take whatever resonates and let the rest fall away. New Earth AC is always on the lookout for new Unity Circle hosts. If you have special gifts and know that what you have could uplift, empower, and inspire others, if you want to make a difference in the world, why not host an online Unity Circle with us? We always live stream the circles onto the New Earth YouTube channel and promote our hosts to the world. If you think you have something to give, let Bonnie Bird, David Starr, and Robin Nicole know personally, or email us at newearthac1111@gmail.com, and we will place you onto the calendar and bring you onto a community chat to let everyone get to know you before your circle. Hello, everybody. We're here and we have a really special guest on today. I really love her. She's a special lady to me. She's special in my heart. And so I'm just going to tell you who she is. Her name is Kathy Mason. And she is an amazing an Amazon best-selling artist or author, speaker, host of the Facebook live show Conscious Business Zone, and online sales specialist who works with conscious companies to help them grow. She is psychic and intuitive and can see your soul mission and help you create that vision in the now. And so I'm just happy to have her on. She's going to do a little talk with us. We're doing a Unity Circle, and we're going to be talking about the purpose of, what was it? I can't even remember. Soul alchemy. I'm really messing it up today.
Soul
I'm messing it up on her, Bonnie.
It's okay. Kathy will straighten us out.
Hi, Kathy.
I know. I really need to rewrite that and make it easier to say.
I just said, okay, I'm not really good. No, because I was really in a hurry, just got back from the doctors, and I'm just kind of a little bit flustered today. So.
Well, I'm sorry David isn't here.
David is not on his lunch break. He had to go take a 3D job for a little bit. And so we tried to get him on his lunch break, but his lunch break was
okay. He took a 3D.
Sometimes you got to work.
He had to. He spent all of his money that he had. He had sold his business, and then he put everything he had into the Divine Ray. And then it was getting down to the wire, and his guides told him that he needed to take this job just for a small bit of time while the Divine Ray is getting ready to go. So unfortunately, he has to do the 3D thing at the moment.
I understand. It's a balance, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's doing good. He's doing really good with trying to juggle the whole thing.
Yeah. A lot of times.
He pops into a lot of the circles on his lunchtime when he can. So.
Oh, good. Well, did you want to do something, Robin, for Elsie today? Or?
Yes, I did. And then see I didn't get the pictures and everything ready. So I'm going to do a little tribute, but I would like to talk about it.
Okay. So, Noelle did a YouTube. For something. Would you like me to give you the link and see? I don't know how you could show it in stream. Can you show a YouTube in StreamYard?
I don't know if we can show YouTube and StreamYard, but I talked to Noelle yesterday and she said she was going to send me something, but she hadn't sent it yet. And so it just isn't here on time. She said
I've got it right here. I mean, it would give you an idea.
I can do screen share, but I don't know if I can screen share YouTube. Can you screen share YouTube?
All you can do is try. I mean,
Okay, so
really, learn something new every day.
Here's the private chat. Here we go. Okay, so this is unlisted, but I have the link.
If you have the link, then
yeah,
we can
it
do
made me cry when I watched this.
Oh,
But,
okay. So if it's on your computer,
no, it's in private chat.
Okay,
it's in your chat.
So everyone, so you understand what we're doing. We're talking about one of my best friends that just passed, who wrote this book, Awakening Your Creative Voice. And that's a picture of her right there. And she was a creativity expert. And this book is just absolutely beautiful. Each page she loved daisies. So each chapter had a daisy, and it had a lot of beautiful graphics. It's creative.
It's beautiful.
It really, it's a beautiful book. And her work to help humanity was to help people learn how to creatively problem solve. So that's a quote. It says, rethink everything, train your brain and open your heart to infinite possibility.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's.
I'm going to try to do this, but I don't know if it'll let me.
Okay. Well, let's see if it.
Okay. So I've got the video. Can you see what I'm seeing? Like it's moving over to the video?
See your desktop, but nothing's.
We can see the tab that it's spinning.
You can see like all the little things in the folders.
Yeah.
Okay. When I click on Elsie's link, it doesn't. It's not giving me the link. So I got to try to figure out where you are now. Okay, wait. Let's see. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Yes.
You wanna
I'm gonna try to make it larger.
Enlarge.
Okay,
it.
now
There you go. There you
the
go.
sound. Oh, there is a sound. Good. Okay.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Good. How did we get to Peter Falk?
What is this? I think you sent me. Why do I have Peter Falk's hilarious acceptance speech?
That's not it.
This is hilarious. Like maybe it went over. Maybe it. Okay, let me
go back. Put the back arrow.
Go back to the link.
Here we go.
Now make it bigger.
That's where it is.
If you can make it bigger.
Okay.
Now.
So before I push play, we just want to say we'll just push play, and this is in a tribute to our loving friend Elsie. Can you hear it?
So here's another one of my BFFs.
Yeah, you can hear.
Yes. Elsie, and I won't tell you her anything, but I won't say anything this time. So, okay, so I'm hiding myself, and then we do have one more person that may come on in a little bit too. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
Thank you so much. This is so much fun. Thank you.
I'm having a ball.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Say your name for me again. I just want to make sure I heard it correctly.
It's Elsie.
Okay, it is Elsie.
Elsie
All right.
Ritzenheim.
Okay, Elsie. So I will need you to at least give me a theme, so I'm not pulling randomness out of the universe. Where would you like to go? What kind of information? What kind of intel are you looking for?
The ability to accept, to be open to and accept stepping into 5D and into the transformation that's been happening for me in that respect, especially with my work.
Okay. help me with the visual I'm getting on your work. All I see is a lot of files on a drawer, on a table. I'm like, okay.
There are a lot of files, and there's two on the table.
Okay. Because I'm like, that seems so literal, and I'm like, that could be any job in the universe. I'm specific. Okay, they're being very specific. All right.
That's creativity. I work with creativity and writing and mentoring, coaching, that kind of stuff.
Okay. That's the feeling I got, and the question I was going to ask automatically is, you're a healer, right? Because that's pretty much the category I put all of us in, whether it's hypno, coaching, whatever else, we're all healers. That's really what we came on this journey for. But they're giving me two different marker points for you. Okay. So first off, I hear Joe Vitale's voice in my head. This happens a lot. Anytime there's something related to intention, and he's yelling and he's going, intend it, just intend it. You are already on the path of acceptance, and it's like you can't accept that you've accepted it. Does that sound, I know that probably sounds familiar, but you're already doing it. You've already done the things, you're doing the things, there's more of the things coming, and I do mean a lot more. I don't know if you were planning for a busy end of the year, but I feel like now, I don't want to say like in perpetuity, because it's not that, but in the next 4 to 5 years, and I'll say it this way, you'll appreciate this from the X-Men perspective, we're on deck. This is it. This is what we trained for. It's our moment, so we all know that, all of us who are in this holistic, in any capacity world, we all have a knowing. And I feel like you are, and I totally get this because I suffer from the same illusion myself very often. I'm not doing enough to get ready for this thing. And they're telling me, and I'm glad that we're talking about this because I just transcended this one very, very recently with the help of lots of really, really good teachers. And they're saying to me, it's the same. It's the same. You're already there. It's already happening. You have a slight concern about what does that really look like, which I totally appreciate. But for you in the journey part, and again, because you follow the call, and they're saying you follow the call well. So when someone shows up that is supposed to be in your circle, or something shows up on your table, on your laptop, in your feed, wherever, and you go, I think I'm supposed to do X, Y, and Z with that, you move. You move towards those things. There's not a lot of delay there. So because of that, they're saying, you're already doing all the things. They're literally saying, and oh my, God bless, you're so obedient, because I am often not, at least not on the first run. They are saying to me, she always listens. Like, you follow all of it. And they're literally showing me like dot after dot after dot after dot. You follow all of it. You follow the messages. You follow the sensory perception that moves you in a direction. You don't have any questions about, is it, or should I, or shouldn't I? It's just a matter of when, where, how, you just put that, and you're very good at collaborating, connecting people with either other people or things that really matter to this entire journey, not just for you, but for the collective. This is where you really excel in moving wow. Thank you. I feel the need constantly when I talk to other people who do what we do to say thank you, because we don't always get that. And it really, really matters right now what you are doing. There's a massive expansion happening for you in your work. Again, I don't know that you were planning to be on, but you're going to be on. By December, I don't know if you have fame now, but it certainly feels like by December, there's a real distinct possibility that you are, I don't have another phrasing for this except running with the big boys. There's just going to be a lot of, it almost feels like you're in another world. I know that partially represents the transition that we're all going through, but it represents how your world operates as well. I just get more abundance, a lot of it. In almost every category that you would think of: love, money, faith, calling. So a sense of the calling, it will be even more fervent than it is now. And it is quite now. Boy, you are on the path. This is, sheesh. Kathy's not going to bring me a challenge today. She's going to bring me a bunch of folks who are fantastic healers. Okay, I could have a worse morning, I got to tell you.
Kathy will be very pleased to hear what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yes,
I feel like you at times, so the same questioning about, am I doing enough? I also feel like occasionally you still question, I guess I want to say the veracity of all of it. You know, like when you get into your individual work, and I mean your actual work, what you do, it almost feels like you're occasionally, they're kind of giving me the sense that this isn't all the time. It's something that you are transcending and you're at the very tail end of. It just feels to me like sometimes you're pulling backwards going, okay, is this what I want? You know, like, is this the way I really want this to look? And it's okay to evaluate, but they're saying sometimes they're saying you used to get stuck in reverse. They're saying now you get stuck occasionally in neutral. I love the way because they're moving you up the gears. So they're saying all they want you to do is, after you've given these moments thought and kind of process and said, is this, you know, am I okay with this? Get back to what you're doing, because you're going to be so needed moving into the fall and the winter. You know, as we get to the cooler months, you're going to be so needed. I actually feel like this is the case for a lot of us as well. We won't get the option to kind of chill. Again, this is the moment where Professor Xavier calls on all of us and says, okay, suit up. This is it. And they are making it quite clear that you are going to be on deck and on duty, not only to do the work that you do, but also to be a big connector of people and places and things that matter in this esoteric process that we're all going through.
Thank you. That helps me be less anxious. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad to hear that.
It does. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. That's great.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Love to you.
Oh, big love to you, just for the work that you're doing. Again, I can never say thank you enough, because it really matters. Thank you.
Yippee!
Oh, wonderful. Beautiful.
I knew you would be happy, Kathy.
It's not like there's an echo in here.
Kathy's been telling me this for many, many months.
Oh my God.
I caught that part when you said it. Oh, that's going to make Kathy very happy. And she immediately comes on, you know, with all. I love it. I absolutely love it.
What Elsie does is she has a way to use creativity for problem solving. And it's fantastic. And
Okay.
they're not teaching it anywhere. They're not teaching it in schools. They're not teaching it anywhere. And we have all these problems to solve, and she's got the solution. And we published a book. She wrote a book. She has the whole system. It's like so cool. Anyway.
Interesting. That is so intriguing. Okay.
Now I just have to get off my you-know-what and get moving.
Well, okay, you know that's coming anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you both very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Bye, dear.
I've tried to find the screen. So I find you. I don't know where everybody. Okay, let me see if I can get this off now. Stop the screen share. There we go. That was Elsie, and that was only just a snippet of what Elsie was. I've only got to know her since Kathy, you introduced her to me back when we did the Be the Change, but last summer. And she instantly became like in my life. And she was, I don't even know how to explain Elsie other than that she was there for you. She was always there. When my parents passed away, she was right on it. And I remember she rang me up and we had a nice, lovely conversation. She asked me how I was like working through it, and we got to have a talk because like both my, I lost both of them within the course of like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her like she went through both sides and I was grieving more for my father than I was my mother because there was like situations in my childhood that I had to work through, and she was just right on it. And it was like she was like a mentor, and she was right there. And not just that, like when I was telling her my ideas and what was happening with like my writing and my children's book, she was like,
Right.
you need to go to Kathy. You need to go to Kathy. And she's like right on me. You know what I mean? And she was just such a lovely, lovely person. And she came into my life, and it really, it didn't shock me, because like you had told me that she was sick the last time I talked to you.
Yeah.
And but I really actually thought she was going to make it through. I didn't think this was going to be
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I'm really sad I never got to meet her, because she was really excited when she was talking to Robin, and she was saying that I lived pretty close to her, and she was like going to introduce me to her and everything.
She was, because Bonnie lives in where the Kellogg's factory is.
Oh, okay.
And Elsie, every year she does some kind of a conference down in the same area.
Oh, she in Ohio? Are you in Ohio?
No, in Michigan.
Okay.
Battle Creek, Michigan.
She said she usually does this conference, but because of what was going on in our world, she hadn't had it. But the next time she was going to go down, because Bonnie lives in the same town.
I was going to go meet her, and I'm really sad that I never got to meet her.
Yeah. Well, we'll be doing lots of other things to acknowledge her contribution. But what Elsie was is she was an amazing storyteller. And she used those stories to teach and sort of nurture people. And if you wanted a quick answer that she wasn't the right person to go to,
Because you want to be on the speed track, forget it.
I put up the interview, one of the interviews that I had with her last year, and one thing she was telling me about was when she wrote her book, so she wrote the book and she handed it over to you, and you handed it back to her and told her that this was too much like a dissertation or something, and that she had to like write it again.
Well, that's because, the journey for all of us is to value ourselves. Mm-hmm. And in that case, Elsie wrote a book because she was very, very well educated on what she knew, but she quoted everyone else instead of the fresh creative work that she had. So that first book I did reject. It was like a
I did reject it.
I did. And
that's what a good friend does.
Well, I met Elsie in 2013 because she was part of a compilation book that I published with Dr. William Spady. And I published 3 or 4 of his books. And so that's what happened was she was one of the chapters in the book. And back then she was doing a lot of work with generative leadership. And she wrote a book called Generative Leadership. And one of the co-authors was a woman astronaut. Wow. So Elsie has this incredible network. She has all of us that are more conscious, her conscious path and spiritual path. And she has the grandmothers group, which she did have indigenous blood. She had Cherokee in her system.
So do I.
And she really aligned with that. A lot of times when she would do stuff, she would really be Zen when she was doing stuff. And then she was in the education system for her whole adult life. She was a music teacher at one point. So that's where she got the creativity.
It's almost like when you was listening to that lady do her reading, she wasn't really understanding that when she was saying you're going to travel with the big guys, that it wasn't going to be on this plane.
Right.
That it was going to be, she's not done. She's got some huge work to do.
Right.
She's going to help everyone still yet.
Well, I sent that clip to her son and asked if I could have those file folders. Yeah. I don't know if he'll allow me to, but there's a lot more work to do. And that's why I was going, yay, at the end is like I was writing her. I talked to her every week. And it was like, Elsie, come on. And then she'd get on the phone to go, or on Zoom, because you're going to really be upset with me, but I haven't done anything. And I only, yeah. So, and I had to just be patient because I knew it was birthing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that she
amazing.
has some amazing, she's made so many connections in this, what in her lifetime, and with all the people. I mean, that woman was she was doing Zoom calls. I mean, was she 78? I think she said she was 78. 77. And she told me that she was on Zoom almost like all week. She would be connecting.
Right. All different groups.
People.
Right.
And all these groups, and they were just so dear to her heart. And she made so many connections. And I believe that all those people that she's connected with, she's going to be working with them through on the other side. She's going to be helping us all.
I hope so. I was with, and Victoria Reynolds. I was talking with her right after this, and I mean, I knew she was really ill and spoke with her about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she was on so many drugs that she could hardly speak. And anyway,
did she know that she wasn't going to make it? Like, did she know that?
We didn't talk about it.
No.
I mean, no, there was nothing like that to talk about because, yeah. Anyway, that's hard to say.
Yeah.
But basically, what Bonnie had asked was like, tell us some good news. Tell us what you're seeing is happening from the other side, or seeing. So if you follow Dolores Cannon and some of the people that have an idea of these waves of what's happening, I'm not hearing anyone talk about this big flash of white light. I'm not hearing anything. I'm hearing people talk about frequency. Yeah. And that the idea is for us to work on ourselves so we can hold more light. And that transition from carbon-based to crystalline energy is how we're going to hold more frequency. And personally, I had a white light experience 16 years ago where I got to see how big I was. And this little body was like an ant, teeny weeny little ant in this giant spotlight. And it was more like a river spotlight. Anyway, it was really different. And I see it every day still. But every day I ask to hold more of that in here. And that's what I think a lot of things going to happen if we can help as many people with processes and concepts that help them clear their shadow or integrate their shadow and clear their I'm not good enough storyline, the trauma drama that we interpreted, and hold love. There's a whole army of souls that want to walk in. There's 144,000 or more souls, high frequency souls that are waiting to walk in. And they're going to go for 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. They're not going to go for old bodies. That's what maybe what Elsie did was, Elsie's leaving. I have another dear friend in Denver leaving right now. And their bodies couldn't probably upgrade.
Okay. So like, when we're looking at our people, like our family members and all the things, like some of them, they just don't want to, like, they just want to be, they're not coming onto the mission, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not waking up and they're not raising their vibration. Do you think that we're going to notice that there'll be a lot of walk-ins coming into our friends and our families?
Well, they won't be able to walk in unless they have done some of the work. See, the walk-in, the only reason a high frequency, so We are being helped from the Galactic Federation. We are being helped from the angelic realm, Saint Germain, the Earth. The ascension of the Earth affects the whole game. We're not just a little piece, a marble in the game. We are the cosmos. Where everything's a fractal. So when this thing explodes and goes to the next level, then all sorts of other cascading events happen. So that's why we have so much support here right now. And Bonnie, before we got on, was talking about the Galactic Federation and what they're saying and what they're doing. What's happening is that every system that has been created that is not in love, which is our systems we have right now, the banking system, the school system, all the social economic systems are based on greed. They are not based on love. They are not based on harmony. All of those have to transform and go to a different level. So there are a bunch of beings that are going to come in, and it's not just the new kids. The new kids are going to need parents that are willing to let the new kids shine, because they're the evolution of our species. And instead of putting them into programming, so that's why there's going to be a bunch of 30-year-olds coming in. But when you're asking Robin, well, the ones that haven't done the work, we don't really know. From our perspective, I mean, we're all divine beings of light, and you don't know what they're doing in their dream time at all. You can see how they're acting to you. You can see what triggers you go, uh-oh, there they go again. That's not good. That's a point against you. Well, that isn't really how it works. Mm-hmm. So we can't tell.
But what I'm saying is, do you think that some of them, like, some of them might be like they're not ready to kind of like do the job, like say like they're not ready to take on the rest of the mission, and so that they're willing to let that spark, that piece of their soul go to another level, to the next, like,
okay, so that's
and a new piece comes in, like a new piece of their fractal comes in.
Okay, so the soul is already here, only a small portion in here, and the game is to allow and accept and become more light body, more love. And so they may do it a different way that you don't recognize.
Exactly.
Because it's all part of the divine. And they chose, I mean, there are beings that chose to come to a planet that was ascending and not ascend.
Yes, and then what I've been also being shown as well is that at some point they might have, because there's we have, like you said, the little tiny bit that comes to the body, and then there's other bits that are up there, and sometimes we make a pact with those bits. And at nighttime, or even like when we're like in astral or whatever, and they have a chat or a talk, and they say, okay, this piece hasn't been doing what the mission, what they came to do, and so are you? And they do it in agreement, and then this piece says, okay, I'll come in now, and I will switch, and you can switch back over to this side, and I will switch, and I'll take up the mission, and I will follow through. And so what I was being shown was that there's going to be a lot of walk-ins like that, where their other piece is going to come in and take over, and the other piece is going to be well happy to just feel like, okay, I didn't really feel like doing that job anymore, and so well happy for that other fragment to come in and start taking over. So that you'll notice that your people that you're living with that might not have looked like they were doing anything, all of a sudden they might wake up one day and all of a sudden they're like ready to go, and they're like doing what needs to be done, kind of thing. And so that need to be forgiving and watch these people. Like, we can't just like think, oh, they're not awake and they're not doing anything and they're just kind of a lazy bum over in the corner and they're not. And that you'll all of a sudden notice that they might actually change overnight. They could change overnight.
Okay, so a couple of things you said. Right now in 3D, there's always been kind of a strange partnership where husband might be the grounding rod and the wife is the
I want to be out there. Husband says, come over here. That happens to
my friend Kimberly calls it the Benjamin Franklin story, where Benjamin Franklin's her husband and she's the kite.
Yeah.
So, but
I think that's how it is at my house.
It is like that. Like, because my husband brings me back down when I'm like way up here. He's like, okay, he says to me, he goes, Robin, you take everything. You're like on the final step. And there's all these things that need to be done down here before the final step is done. And he has to pull me back down and bring me back to reality.
Okay, so this is what I want you to know is that what you're talking about is doing, and what we're really experiencing is being. And so the doing, like with Elsie seriously she probably has 10 courses. I have part of them that we started that we didn't get to finish. So I'm not sure how I get to I don't know how I get to do that. Oh gosh. That's like Thing from the Addams Family.
I know.
Wasn't it? That's so funny. So Bonnie, what you were saying before, I don't think we are creating this reality. Right now we're creating 3 loving people wanting to serve and wanting to find out information that helps everyone. Where it's not like it's mine. And in the old days, that's the way everybody was. It's my book, my process, my everything. Now it's like, hey guys, here's a great idea. Let's see, let's enhance it by helping each other work through it. So, but I don't, what's happening is that there's going to be a financial reset, which is, and part of it's part of the disclosure. And once there's a disclosure, then the oil and gas industry and all the electric systems will have to change because there's free energy. And then once that technology, like I have another client that I'm doing a website for right now that is so amazing. He's taking people up in the Palladian ships to the med beds already. So, yeah, there's so much. It's almost like if you can imagine it, you can do stuff, and people are having like instantaneous healings. And so the thing is
I've been doing that with my people. They've been having me take them to the inner earth, to the healing chambers inside of there. And they said, and they actually told me when I did a group one, they said that right now, because I did a channeling in there, they said right now, while we're waiting for the medbed technology to be here, because it's here, but like to be there for everybody,
right,
that they're going to be, we're allowed to go to these different places on ships and also on the inner earth to use that technology.
Right. Well, I've been working with the Arcturians for probably 20 years and 15, 20 years. And I usually, at least once a week, they have the Ascension chamber. It's not a chamber. What do they call it? Anyway, they have you can ask to go up and be worked on for your ascension.
You told me that the last time we talked.
Yeah,
and I've been doing that. I've been asking to go up for whenever I'm having like ascension symptoms, and like really dealing with it. I asked to go to that one instead of going to the inner earth one.
Well, see what happens with that is, again, if we're holding more love, this is all about harmony. We've been through polarity. And people go, well, you have to have both of that. It was like, well, I'm not sure you have to have that anymore. And so it's all about harmony. It's harmony in here, which is a frequency. And once we really go more to the frequency of everything, then there's a possibility of co-creating with the universe the way we were originally intended. See, this experiment got a little off kilter by some intervention. And the intervention, the dark stuff, it was an experiment as well, but that experiment is not allowed to continue. So they've been, I watched this incredible YouTube with this lady being interviewed. It was on Portal to Ascension, and who was interviewing her? Anyway, there was an interview where this woman works with she's French, but she's an Egyptologist, and she had done the archaeology on all the inscriptions, all the hieroglyphs that are on everything.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some that look like ships and all sorts of stuff. And she said there's all different species of humans on all of those hieroglyphs. She said there were cone heads that came from Mesopotamia. They look like cone heads. They're not the Peruvian big skull people. They're giants. They really are giants. They've found fossils and they found footprints in South Africa. So, all our history, I'm getting chills. Our history is going to change so drastically that's why I feel it's so important to get all you guys out and help you get visible, because there's going to be people looking for who's going to tell me the truth. Who can I trust? Because once you find out that the history books were written by victors of war and they aren't really the truth of who we really are and what's really happened. The Sumerian tablets and the Vedas from India have the truth in it. And all the indigenous.
I had a lady on there last week, and she talked about the Veda, the Veda.
Vedas,
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, see, the thing is that, but the English, the Conqueror, when the English flag never the sun never set on the English Empire, because they colonized all these places, and then they culturized all of them with religion and told them not to use their stuff. And the English did it, then the Portuguese did it, then the Italians, all of them, the French, they all said, oh, I want a piece of that. So they did it to all over our country and South America and Africa. And they didn't get China, because how do you do that? But they really conquered the world and then imposed their history, their philosophy on it. Well, all of that's going to come off.
I got a question for you. You were saying like you're trying to get all of us out there, right? How do you get us out of the pockets? Because we seem to be stuck in little pockets where we don't feel like we're like getting the word out. Like we're like, how do you get out of the pocket?
Okay, so what I would do, so I've been doing this for 21 years. And what I do, it's supernatural marketing. And what I call it is mindful marketing magnetism is the course that I teach. But I have been working one-on-one with people where I open the Akashic records and their soul shows us the path for them to attract their tribe. And helps them identify and solidify and get clarity enough to pull it into 3D, 5D, whatever D we're going to be in. We're already in 4.
So that you're not wasting time doing all these things that you're
It's clarity. See, we are alchemists. And the thing is and the people that come to me, their soul goes, okay. So your soul's tapped you on the shoulder a zillion times and you didn't get the memo. Mm-hmm. And then it finds somebody like me that'll channel it to you and says, Thank God. And then they give me this big thing of energy to land it all. So every book that we do, it's infused, it's alchemy. It's infused with tons of energy. Now, the thing that, and I'm still learning, I've been doing this for 21 years. I'm still learning every time, because the beings of light, they chose usually to have a journey of some sort of trauma, so they could go through the trauma so they could teach it. So if it's that they felt alone because they had superpowers and they didn't know how to use it, and they didn't, I mean, now it's cool to, we are all finding each other that have had awareness other than the visible.
So you're seeing that a lot of us, we go through a journey of trauma before we are able to, and we have to like kind of embody it or whatever, like figure out how to.
That's usually your, okay, if your soul chose, okay, you're in non-physical and you're sitting there going, okay, what do I want to do this time? and so you say, well, I want to be, I want to be this or that. Okay, I'll use Sherry Doyen. I want to be born into a family that I'm physically abused by my father. Okay. And everyone has shame, and no one will listen to me, but it causes me to have superpowers. So she then goes through this whole thing at 40. I don't know how old she was when she really realized it, but because of the trauma, she could get out of her body really easily, and she could help so many others. And she's helped thousands of people who've had physical abuse from their father, from their family.
Yeah, she has.
And so, and she is fairy energy. She works with Jesus. I mean, she is a incredible resource for people. So what we did is we worked on a whole plan of how she got her stuff out, how she helped other people. And now with what's going on in the world, some people are stepping back and some people are stepping up. And so it's just I just have to be patient as they step up. But see, that's a perfect example where somebody soul mission, they chose it before they were in physical. Mm-hmm. And your soul will tell you.
I think that happens to all of us. All of us light workers have had a tough life because we want to be able to help others with all these different situations. And you think on the other side, when you're making this plan, you're strong enough to handle all this stuff. And then you've got all this stuff coming at you and you're like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? But when you get to the other side of it, though, you're happy because you can help someone else.
Well, I think we feel alone. I mean, this whole thing of the forgetting, that part of it is kind of cruel. The way that this game is set up, is because we come in and something happens to us. We get these superpowers. And I'm not always saying you may come in without something happening and you just have eyes to see. But it's not allowed to talk about unless you have parents that are conscious.
See, I did.
Right. Me neither.
Sorry.
So, yeah. So, and that's, and so you hide your stuff. You're kind of shamed. You feel shamed by it. You feel terribly alone. Well, this whole lockdown period, we found each other. I mean, if it was supposed to keep us separate, it didn't work.
The opposite.
So, oh no, someone's calling my phone. Oh no, I'm going to put the mute on.
Yeah, I did the total opposite thing. I mean, we all started getting on, getting Zoom, getting whatever we did, StreamYard, figuring out how to use it. We found a whole new way to do things and to communicate. Oh, hi, Jessie. Hi. Good to see you.
Sorry, this is Jessie. Okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you under there because I had you on I had the big screen up and I didn't see you under there. I'm like, someone's calling me.
Yeah, that was my last resort. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're glad you did. We're so glad you did.
This is Jessie. And
Hi,
Kathy, I don't think you've met her. She's one of our other admins that she's an artist as well. And she has been starting to come on doing our Unity circles with us.
yeah,
Wonderful.
I took a big integration break.
Yes.
It lasted a
That's-
lot longer than well, I don't even know what I expected, but it lasted a long time.
Yeah, so we're kind of talking. Were you listening to what
Yeah.
we were talking about? Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
she
was
knows where we're
listening.
at.
Sorry,
Yeah, so
sorry,
do you have
Jessica, I
any
didn't see you.
questions that you want to ask Kathy?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
No.
So I just think that what it boils down to is that we have planned every detail, every moment of this ascension, and we just need to trust God and let go.
Right.
And just let it all happen and keep holding the light. That's the most important thing.
The other part of that is it's not just trust, but your imagination is a superpower. Just like Robin imagined some beautiful art and then she creates it, that's what we can do with our life.
Yeah.
And so that's what a lot of times what comes through for you through me is they show me a full color movie. And if you're here and they show that your soul mission is here, they're just showing a timeline where you did that already. And it's waiting. And they show milestones like the book or the project or the song or the whatever you were going to do on your way to the other side. They show it to us. Sometimes they give us the name of it and everything. I mean, it's already exists.
Kind of like what happened with David with the Divine Ray, where he was he was shown everything, what to do, and then he also was given the name.
Right. Well, the other part that I'm given is I'm given this big energy bubble that looks like those soap bubble, those soap things that kids play with that they blow out bubbles and they it looks like rainbowy kind of. I'm given a huge bubble like that of energy that I can drip into each project. So it's alchemy. This is not. And that's what we're here to do. And when that becomes more normal or that becomes something that is fun to play with, I mean, I think there was a lot of people who still had fear of death. Their past lives were where they got burned at the stake or they all sorts of things where people were afraid. And now at a certain point, their desire to contribute and serve is past that fear. So I do help people process that.
So that's really cool. So if you come to do a session, or you just come and you just sign up and do a session, is that how it works? So I put down here, I said, follow and contact Kathy at kathymasonworksmarketing.com.
Yeah, and then Facebook is Kathy, what is it? Facebook.com/Kathy Mason Love is my personal profile. And I do a show called Conscious Business Zone where I interview people like you guys as resources for my people. Right now, I'm doing a lot of interviews on Kathy Mason Love for the near-death experiencers because there's a big event once a year. And this year we're doing it online again. Last year we did online. And over 100 speakers talking, either researchers or near-death experiencers are going to be presenting from September 1st through the 5th. So I get to interview like 16 of them on my show. So, yeah, they're so cool. This is what I'm saying is they went to the other side. They came back fearless. I mean, they're type A. I mean, they've got every degree. They have no fear of what this world has to offer. Whereas that's where a lot of people are still stuck, not realizing their superpowers or sharing their gifts because of still in that old paradigm of the programming of being, you know, if you're isolated, if you do the wrong thing, you won't be safe. You won't live.
Yeah.
That's that old program of tribal.
Absolutely.
So, but we're not in. There is nothing solid here at all.
Oh.
It's all frequency and energy. So we can play with it as long as it's in service to all. I mean, that's the key is it's that old, it's all for me and greed and all of that and using people that's not part of this new energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the amazing part.
And just so you know, for everybody out there, I put in the description of this video on the YouTube channel all of Kathy's links because she has a full list of them. And so I just picked the one at the top, and but there's tons of there. So in this video, if you want to contact Kathy, you can. There's a million different places you can contact.
Yes. Well, the thing is we're here. I'm here. My personal life mission is to help as many people wake up to their divinity as possible. And the way I do that is through my work and featuring people and by helping people with get their work out in the world. And just like what we saw with Elsie, I mean, we were together once or twice a week since 2013 to encourage her to get her work out, to get those stories out, to get the real, the authentic way. And that's why there's, you know, thousands of people that are remembering her and knowing that it was not about her ego at all. It was always service to others. And so I would like to be remembered that way too.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing a tribute for her to this evening, isn't it? This evening?
At 1 o'clock. Yeah, the grandmother circle. And I don't know that I can publicly.
Yeah.
I think I have to be selective of who's gets that. But and then we're doing something for Co-Creators Convergence on Thursday.
Okay.
There is something public that everyone can come to that I can get that link and give it to you, and we can put it in the chat, in the comments. But basically, the example that she's offering is the authentic self, and then being fearless with it, with sharing it. That's what Elsie's biggest gift is to us.
And she played full on, like she, right up until the end, like she played full on. She did exactly what she, like that lady was saying in the tribute that we just listened to. She always, like, just, she was right there. And she did everything she was asked to do, and she just followed through.
Well, what you'll find is that the people that are there to nurture and support others are really good listeners.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a great listener and a great teacher, and she used stories to teach. And that isn't a skill that a lot of us have. I don't know that I have it the way she had it. Because I mean, I heard stories of how her dad would go out and shoot squirrel, and they would have squirrel for dinner.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Everything tastes like chicken.
That's what I hear.
And when I interviewed her both times, there was lots of different stories she told during the interviews.
That was her charming, because they teach. She was
so interesting.
Teacher.
Because my dad's family was from the South, and that's how they taught, through stories, and I really like that. Also, you know, I do a lot of group meditations, and so it's almost like the healings through the story, and the meditations come from the divine, so it's pretty healing stuff.
So Robin, how much time do I have?
We're coming down to the end of it. That's why I was just going to say we're coming down to the end. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we start?
Is it too late to read something?
It's not too late to read something.
Okay, so this is from Debbie Ford, who's also passed.
Okay.
And somehow I was told to read this.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but I was definitely told to do it. It's called Reclaiming Your Light.
Okay.
Dear God, Goddess, creator of all that is, today I close my eyes and invite into my conscious awareness all the holy parts of myself that have been hidden from my sight. I affirm that it's safe to open up to my deeply spiritual essence, to discover the divine thread that connects me to everyone else, seen and unseen, on the planet. I proclaim that it is safe to come face to face with my greatness, my gifts, my spiritual vastness, my holiness. Today, God grant me the courage to stand without apology in the presence of all of my greatness. Give me the insight to reclaim the light that I've attributed to or projected onto others. Allow me to open up and see what's possible for mankind, humankind, when I stand fully in the presence of my holiness. Support me, please, in being present to the importance of my own holy self. Wash away anything that's between me and that divine thread, my divine essence. Allow me to be humble enough to know that I have nothing to do with how divine I am. Today, dear God, allow all of the light that I've transferred out into the world, to people I know and to people I don't know, to people who are alive and to people who have passed, to return to me. Bring all of that light right now back into me. Let me open my arms, my heart, to the uniqueness of my humanity and the magnificence of my divinity. Let me know the divine as myself.
That is beautiful.
Isn't it?
Hey, Robin.
Yes.
David's he just messaged me. Is he in the room? Is he down there too?
I'm not seeing his head.
He's asking me, he asked me, did Kathy's Unity Circle start? And I said that it's almost over, but you can come in and say hi if you want. So, yeah.
Okay. He's not here.
Yeah.
So
he just did a love heart.
I feel horrible. I got the time mixed up.
It's all right. It's all right.
I was looking forward, but I'm gonna watch the replay.
Well, we did a tribute.
we
did a tribute to Elsie at the beginning. For like the first 10 minutes, we were doing a tribute because our dear friend Elsie Ritzenheim, is that how you say it?
Yes.
She passed away on, when was it? Sunday evening
night at 11 p.m.
Yeah. And I had her last year during the Be the Change. I had her on, and then I had her on again towards Christmas time. So, and she's just a lovely woman. So we wanted to just do a little tribute for her.
So maybe I should come back sometime and open the Akashic records and do something else. But
that would be really cool.
We would love that.
That would really be cool.
That would be awesome.
And that would be good if there was a way for us to have you have an experience before we do that.
Yeah, how do you do that? Yeah. Like, can you do that like live on the thing where you can?
I have done it every once in a while. I don't know. I think I'd rather do you and Bonnie in private.
Okay.
I would like that.
And then that way you could speak to what happened. Because I
would love that.
So like what you saw with Elsie, I had been telling Elsie what I saw and what her soul said for a while.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so excited. Like, oh, good, I'm validated.
Yeah.
Oh wait, David's here. Will we say goodbye to? Well, we can put David and we can say goodbye to him really quickly, and then we're going to have to end because I'm sure you probably have your schedule as well.
Yeah.
So hi, David.
David.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry, I missed it. I was trying to get on as fast as I could.
His lunch break. See, we were a little bit early for his lunch break. That's the problem today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's good to see your face, David, anyway, even if it is for a few seconds. Even Jesse, too. I'm glad you came on.
Yeah, sorry, but
I just,
I'm
you
glad
know,
to at least be in the energy, and I caught that lovely passage, so that must have been meant for me to hear, so
Isn't that beautiful?
gonna look at it that way,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, it always blesses our hearts when we were all in the same room together. So this is amazing, even if it is for a few minutes.
Yeah.
We're all connected here. So how you
Yeah.
doing, Kathy? How are things over there?
Hanging in.
Busy, busy and delighted and delighted, and looking forward to more good stuff happening.
Well, we're looking forward to having you come on with us a little bit more towards the future. We love co-creating with you, Kathy, and so we're really happy and we're really thankful for you coming here today and giving us a piece of your soul, really, because you came out and you told us, like, well, you gave us a piece. So thank you very, very much for sharing that.
And our heart to yours.
I would just, as a parting thought, is really the idea of you being your divine self and embracing that. And somebody's typing. Okay, but
no, I think it's the Cyclops. It comes sometimes in David's phone. I don't know.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. So anyway, but I think what the conversation we had was about being as clear as you can, holding as much light as you can, and when you walk into a room, you're like a tuning fork. Everything will vibrate to that. Be the love. Be and don't worry about the 3D construct. You don't. This game is changing. We're going up level.
Yeah.
So the frequency.
That's a beautiful thing to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Be happy. Seriously.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wish we had the song. We could play it.
Thank you so much. Now I'm just going to let everybody know that's watching what we have coming up. We have another Unity Circle this weekend on Sunday, the 22nd. We have Adam from the Black Swamp Medium. Is that what he calls himself? Black Swamp Medium?
Black Swamp Medium, yeah.
And he plays the, it's a flute, but it's American Indian flute.
It's Native American.
And it's amazing. It's magical. So he's going to be here on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. And then next week we have another Unity Circle. Her name is Teresa Chillingsworth, and she's going to be doing one on new energies of the earth. And then the next day we have a community chat on Thursday. Audrey Light Language is her name, and we get to know her a little bit more. And so that's what we have going on in the next week. So hopefully you can all come and be a part of what we do here on the New Earth, because everything we do here is to help everybody else. And it's all about unity consciousness and bringing tools and tips and techniques out to all of you. And we do this one video at a time, I guess. So I guess that's all we're going to leave you. I am going to leave us with a little snippet. We have a new show that we're going to be offering. It's going to be a monthly show. And when you see this little video that we have coming up and you're interested and you're an artist out there and you'd like to avail of this new show that we're going to be doing, myself and Jessie May are going to be coming back to do Artist Alley. So I'm going to leave it with that.
I'm so excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to add it to the stream, and I'm going to mute. I think we should probably mute all of us, because we're just going to leave after that. Okay? Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, Kathy.
Love to be with you guys. Thank you.
Hugs, everyone.
Are you a visual artist who finds it easy to create your masterpieces, and then finds it extremely difficult to market and get your work seen. We here at New Earth AC understand this dilemma, as two of our Unity hosts are visual artists themselves. Jessie May and Robin Nicole decided to put together a new show called Artist Alley, where we intend to promote and showcase all of you artists out there in the world. If you are interested in having us showcase you on our monthly show called Artist Alley, please let Jessie or Robin know privately, or email us at newearthac1111@gmail.com.